Alright, so we're getting into my power rankings for Swiss round 2. Um, so let's start. At the top we have C9. I think C9 has basically, they took down TL, they took out Lion. Um, they just look like the best team. I think Thanatos is a great laner. I have him at the top right now. He hasn't been the most impactful, I think, top laner, but I feel like he's been the biggest gapping top laner. Blabber, I feel like has been pretty decent. And not like number one for me, but I feel like he's up there. APA, I feel like he's been good. He hasn't been like blowing out of the water. I feel like he's been good enough. Sven, I'm still like about. I think he still has his Sven moments. I think like his lane phase is still kind of suspect, but Vulcan is having some big plays, so I think Vulcan is like been the best support. So I think like they have the best top jungle support. They look the best in terms of map. Well, they still have some like kind of questionable plays. I think there was one where they just gave up like 2 objectives for nothing, just gave it away, and I was like, what the fuck? But I think C9 looks like the best team. They just look like, in terms of who's on their team, like playing the map, I think they look the best right now. Next, I have TL. I'm gonna say Morgan. I was like, he looks kind of unremarkable, but then he's Omega gapped Fudge in that last game, so I had him. Well, he's technically still 4th in my list, which is where I predicted to have him. But you know, I had him around middle of the pack, I think before, and I do think Omega gapping Fudge in that like Renekton Gnar matchup, which I think the Gnar should have been, like, he counterpicked the Gnar into that, so I feel like he should have been winning that, but somehow Morgan just gapped him. So I have him sort of at that border of B and C. He hasn't like, I don't feel like he's really been like carrying games, but like that was a good game. So I have him on the border. Jose Diodo, he had some good mid jungle plays, I think, in their first series against C9. I feel like he just sort of just does his clears. He shows up when, like, at the objectives where it makes sense in his clear. I feel like he just plays like a normal jungler. He hasn't done anything to like be like, oh my god, he's so good. But I mean, I feel like he beats like when Contract is doing like some crazy suboptimal shit, like it makes him look good. So I feel like he does his role. He's fine. Quid, he's good. I mean, he was winning his lane phase. I still think he's good. He's a good player. Jan is still cracked. He's still cracked. Like, this guy's so good. Core JJ. I think he's like on that border of like, I feel like he's right at that cusp of like B and C. I feel like he plays well, but he's also playing with Jan. So I mean, they're probably like the best combined bot lane. I mean, Masu and Corrigan are kind of. I want to see Flyglass versus TL, if I'm being real. Like that might be like a lot of fun. That bot lane matchup, but that bot support duo matchup. But yeah, I feel like TL just has like pretty solid macro. Like even like, I think it was game 1, Shopify was like pretty even in like gold CS kills, but then like they were just losing every objective to TL. And I blame contracts for that, but like still like, and they had like good moments versus C9 too. I think they had like good plays. If anything, I think they actually played better in the C9 series, whereas this one I feel like they just played lane phase and then won versus Shopify. But yeah, I still have them as the number 2 team. I do want to see them versus FlyQuest. I think that would be a fun test. But we sort of saw them against the best team and then like a kind of bad team, so I'm happy to leave them where they are. Third, I have FlyQuest. Um, it looks bad because it looks like I have Gakos as the worst top laner. I think he's fine. I think he's good. He's still in C tier. I think all the top laners right now are pretty good. Like, this is a very competitive pool of top laners. I don't think anybody's bad. I think everybody deserves to be in LCS. Galkos hasn't amazed me, but he hasn't like disappointed me either. So I think he's fine. Griffin has been like pretty fun. He plays fun champs. Right, he loves his Volibear. He's not really picking what the meta is, or like in terms of like what everybody else is picking, but his, I see his picks and I go, ugh. But then I watch it in the server and I'm like, oh, he's actually like kind of cracked with it. So he's a fun jungler. I need to see him against. I've seen a what against Contracts and Kisno, the sub disguise jungler. I just need to see him against like an actual good jungler before I really hype him up. But right, I feel like he's in against like the bottom end of the junglers. So right now I have him in third. He could once I see him against any of the top top five, even Hambach, I feel. Once I see him against better junglers, then I'll have a more realistic, I think, interpretation of how good he is. But he's exciting. He's fun and exciting. Quad is still like pretty good, even like versus Call Me, who is like pretty cracked. Like, I was watching, I was like, damn, Call Me's good. I was like, because he's exciting, his mechanics look so clean. But then Quad, I was like, he's pulling his own. He's like, even if it's not quite as flashy, he's still pulling his own in that. So, in terms of just being experienced, I'm leaving him where he is. Him and Quid, I think, are still like up there. Masu is still like really good. Cryogen has surprised me in that like he picks a lot of the lane supports as opposed to like a lot of other people are picking like the big engage map play supports, whereas he picks the lane supports and he actually makes that shit look good, which I feel like a lot of people aren't. Right. I think Sajid and Lions are like and who was the other one they played against? B-Voice Sales. So I mean, similar to with Griffin, I do need to see them against better opponents to really have a super like I feel like Griffin and Cryogen might be like my value in them right now might be inflated because they've been playing against bad teams. So, take it with a grain of salt. So, even though it technically looks like I think the FlyQuest roster is just like better than TL roster, I think I still have them in C. Because I think they still need to be tested against like an actual good team. Right? Like, Disguise was 1-0, but I think they kind of, I didn't really think they were like that much better than like Sentinels. I think they just sort of I think Huhi was just having like a stinker and then like but I feel like even with Huhi being not very good, like and by not very good I mean bad in that series, it was still like a close one. So I feel like I need to see them against a good team before I properly put them in B tier. So I think this one's subject to change. I have them in third. They're fun, mechanical team. They can kind of throw. They threw a game against Disguise because like they're just bear and throw. They have a bit of happy gaming. They have a bit of like doing shit just because they want to get the objective or whatever, and just like giving kills they don't need to, or just trying to like scrap out fights, limit testing. Very limit testy team, but it's fun, and I think they're my favorite team to watch. Lion, I didn't watch the Her series because like, do I really care about them versus Dig without their bot lane? I watched the C9 one. Obviously everybody's gonna look worse when you're playing against the best team in the league. I think Dokla's like He is what we know him to be. He's a good like weak side top laner. He's not gonna carry a game, but he's not gonna look that bad. Inspired is kind of cracked, I think. You could technically look at this as a downside in that like I think in one of the games I think the Vi was it the Vi game? I think it was the Vi game. Might have been a Nocturne game. It's sort of sometimes it looks like the team won't win if he doesn't like carry them, which could be indictment of something else. But he does look really good. We'll see if they can find some more stability later on. Saint I think is hella overrated. I remember like a year ago people were like, "Oh, he's good. Like he's one of the better NA mid laners." I think this guy's like hella overrated. I think he's never impressed me. I mean, like I watched him in summer playoffs, did not impress me. I thought he was below average, worse than Dark Wings. Um, yeah, I think he's hella overrated. I think Berserker was kind of clean mechanically. I didn't watch the first series obviously, but he looked good enough versus C9. I wasn't mad. I think Zavan is not that good, but like, I was happy with Berserker. Isles I think is kind of another one where I'm like, I don't know about these picks, bro. I don't know. So right now I have this team in fourth. I said this about like the other teams before. It's hard to tell how good they are when they played against. I mean, it's basically the same as like TL, where like they basically played against one of the best teams and then one of the worst teams. So like, except Lions Reverse, where they played against one of the worst team, against the worst team with subs, and then played against the best team. So, I have them fourth. I think they have obviously two very good players, but I also think they have some like stinker players. So, I think fourth is pretty fine there. Next, I have Sentinels. Impact was actually like the first series versus this guy's. I was sort of like, oh, he wins lane, but then he doesn't do anything post game. I feel like he had a pretty good second series. Kind of gapping people. Is Dig kind of dog water? So do we really count that? But I mean, Photon's a good player though, so yeah, I think Impact. I'm happy to put him in B. Sometimes he phones it in. I had him in C from last split, but that's because like TL sort of fell apart in summer. So I'm fine with leaving him in B. He's like a story player, so I'm happy with that. Hambach, I think he's been a solid, decent jungler. I haven't seen him against like any jungler that's that good. But looks like he has potential. Dark Wings, I think. He had a questionable game like here and there, but I think overall he's like a safe control mage player. He's gonna farm. He's gonna DPS. He's not gonna lose you the game. I mean, he lost him like one game, but like that felt like I think it was the Cass game. I think it was a Cassiopeia game. But besides that, like I feel like he's been pretty safe. He's gonna DPS. Like he might be a little bit behind, but he's generally like he's gonna farm. He's gonna DPS in the late game. I think he's a solid C tier player. Rahel, been a little underwhelmed. I feel like for me, people were high on Rahel last split. I feel like he looked good against bad players because he was just straight up disrespecting them. But I feel like he plays a little too aggro. He's a little risky. Oh, have I been showing my foot? Oh no, I've been showing this. Okay. My stream is just bugging. Huhi had a hella stinker first series. I have him at the bottom. of support pool, but I feel like he definitely like come up. Um, so I'm happy. I'm not gonna fully demote him to D. I feel like, you know, as long as he shows up for the playoffs, I think it's fine. Like, I'll leave him there. He's not that bad. Yeah, so I think Sentinels, even though they lost, I have them higher than this guys, even though they lost to them. Yeah, I think I think they should be better than this guys, who I'll talk about next. Just in terms, I think like as long as Huki doesn't play as bad as he did, I think their like overall level should be like playoff level. You know, I think fifth is solid. Then sixth we have Disguised. We still really haven't seen their jungler. Kira should be coming in week 3. He has visa issues. Kizno is, I mean, like, he's a sub jungler, so you're not really going to be that hard on him. But it's over here. Yeah, like, you don't want to be hard on this guy. He's a sub. He's doing the best he can. He had a decent, like, first series against Sentinels, which I think was sort of for everybody. Just, you know, you're not going to take too much from that series. Series 1, sub jungler, people that haven't practiced. So we'll really have to see how Kira plays with the team. Call Me looks cool. But yeah, so Kira's still this. Castle, I think he's okay. I think in past years when maybe the top lane pool's a little weaker, he looked better, but I have him sort of towards the bottom of C tier. I feel like he plays decent enough. He's not gonna like lose you the game. I think other players play better against him, as in like sometimes he loses lane a bit and stuff, but I think at the end of the day he still manages to like, he's not gonna lose you the game through top lane. He's still gonna play, even if he falls behind, he's still gonna play like decently in the team fights. Like, I have him towards the bottom of C, but I think he's still like fine. Call Me is fucking cracked, bro. He passes the eye test like a motherfucker. Yeah, his mechanics just look so clean. All his flashes and plays. Like, yeah, he just looks good, bro. I don't know what else to say. This guy looks good. Like, if this was a better league, I'd put him straight into A, bro. But yeah, he looks clean. Like, with a larger sample size, I'd be willing to put him like at the top of this list, if I'm being honest. Sajid, though, unfortunately, I think Sajid is bad. Looks like the worst ADC in the league, and I don't think Sen is good. But this guy, I don't know. He doesn't look good in lane. He doesn't look good in the late game. I don't know. This guy just, he feels like the lost condition for this team, if I'm being real. Lyles, he had a good first series against Sentinels, but maybe that was just because he looked bad. I mean, he had like good, like on his comfort picks, he had good plays. I think, like, I'd put him in B tier. I think watching the second series versus FlyQuest, watching him kind of get curb stomped by Cryogen, kind of brought us back down to earth. I think he's still like LCS level player. But I think I was maybe a little too hype on him after the week 1, and then he came back down to earth a little bit. He's ended up around the same place where I thought he was at the beginning, so yeah. Then we have Shopify. So the one swap was Disguised in Shopify. After watching him versus TL, I have dumped them even a little bit lower, right? The first series against FlyQuest, you said, okay, you know, FlyQuest young exciting roster. Context had his stinker ass Malphite game, you know. It is what it is. Let's get a larger sample size. We've gotten our larger sample size. Granted, TL is probably one of the better teams. Like, they got the hardest 0-1 matchup that they were gonna get. So we don't have to be too hard on them, but like, they didn't look that good. If we're being real, like, Fudge got kind of gapped in that game too versus Morgan. Like he picked his Nara into Renekton and then got curb stomped by Renekton. Like he got hard gapped. I think he's not a bad player. I don't think he's been super impactful, but I don't think he's been super bad. He's still in the C tier. He's fine. Contracts though has been kind of a stinker. Like that game one, like both of his game ones have been like terrible, bro. Like the Malphite game made me want to claw my eyes out. The was it Wukong? No, it was his first game. I forget what he's playing. Was it Vi or something? Might have been Vi. Yeah, it was Vi. His Vi game was like not good. Like he didn't like. You should be like going to the objectives based on like. Ideally, you want like you going to the the objectives based on like your jungle timers if you can, and he could have, but then he just didn't, and then they just whenever. And then TL went on them on their timers, and then he was just on the other side. They just give all the objectives for free. He could have taken them. He had the opportunity to take the dragon. He just, okay, whatever, it's too risky, but then you just give it for free. He goes and takes the first grub, doesn't take the rest. They get the other two for free. Like, again with the dragon, he's just always on the other side of the map. I don't know what the heck this guy's doing, bro. Like, he just doesn't look good. I mean, look, I haven't even seen Kira play, and I'm going to put him below Kira. Like, maybe Kira ends up being worse, but, like, Contracts is... I think he, like, is actively losing them the game. Actively. Zinni, I don't think is good. He's not, like, the worst player, but he's not the best player either. He's not, like, losing them the game like Contracts is, but like he's not winning them the game either, let's put it that way. Yeah, I mean maybe he could end up being like around Darkwing's level, but he hasn't looked good so far. I mean, who has he played against? He's played against Quad. I mean, okay, look, he played against Quad and Quid, so you know, I have him in D tier, but like he could be C tier. He's had a bit of a tough entrance to the LCS. We'll put it that way. Been against like two of the top 3 mid laners, the most storied ones right now. So, we'll let him. He's in D tier, but like he could be C tier. I'm amenable to moving him up later. I'm not like. The boat's not out yet. B-Boy is fine. I think Seos is bad. I don't think they should have renewed this guy. But whatever. I think they should have dropped him when they dropped Palafox. I think he's dragging B-Boy down, but it's whatever. B-Boy is fine. Seos is not. Yeah, I've dropped them lower. I do think that they could end up being a top 6 team. I have them in 7th now, just because, like, I thought Contract, like, I've gotten a little bit of a larger sample size, but, they'll be up against Dig. I think they could definitely beat Dig. Like, Dig is not good, so, let me see. How does the playoffs work again? Yeah, so I think realistically they could play in this last chance. I think they could. There's a world where they could still qualify. I have them 7th now, but I think realistically they should be able to beat Dig. I think it's not like. I wouldn't have them favored to win versus Disguised or Sentinels, but like I did really think they could, especially since Disguised is going to be swapping in their jungler and not going to have played that much, so she's not good. I could definitely still see them beating Disguised. I think Sentinel should be better as long as he doesn't play like garbage. So I think there is still a world where they make playoffs. So that's why I still have them in C, even though they look kind of garbage right now. I think they could still realistically make playoffs. They just need Contracts to play better. I think if Contracts plays better, and then we'll see if Zinni looks better against the other mid laners, right? Like, come on. Well, I guess we'll get to. It will be fun seeing him versus Palafox if they drop Palafox. So if Palafox plays better than Zinni, there's gonna be some comments, you know. But yeah, I mean, as long I think Contracts is gonna be the deciding factor for whether or not this team can make playoffs or if they end up in that bottom two. Right, and then finally we have Dig at the bottom. Look, we'll give a caveat for Dig. They didn't have FBI Ignar for week 1. They still kind of got trashed by Sentinels. Those Sentinels, I think, was like played slower than they probably should have been. But I don't know. I think FBI Ignar is not bad, but bro, XU Palafox looks terrible. Photon is good. Actually, I have him in B tier. I think I had him in the top of C tier before. I'm gonna candidly put him in B tier. This guy just looks good. I think the pool of NA top laners has been pretty good, so I'm comfortable putting, like, I think if you're doing good, like, I feel like he consistently contributes to his team winning even though his team doesn't want to win. I just think the mid jungler for this team is so garbage that, like, I don't see how, like, XU is just so bad. Like, I have him below Contracts. Palafox is so, like, they're like the worst mid laner and the worst jungler in the league. Like, even if Ifba and Ignar are decent, like, where I have them, like, I think they're still, like, obviously, like, we need to see more of how they're doing, right? Ignar hasn't played in a while. I think they should still be, like, mid-table bot duo, but ooh, yeah, that mid jungle looks tough. So I mean, Palafox is still bad. He will go for the, he will, like, find a big play in the mid to late game. It's just often his team is so far behind because of him that, like, it's going to be too, especially with XU as your jungler, bro, you're just going to be behind every game. But yeah, I mean, if the other players are playing well enough that, like, they're reasonably in the game, he can actually, like, make a big play to get you some, like, games that you're not going to win. So I think Palafox is bad, but, like, in the right scenario, right? When Shopify had Contracts playing well enough, Fudge playing well enough, and they were actually, like, not so behind that they could actually be in the games, like, he had some good plays to get them in there. He also had games where he did nothing, got carried, but, you know, it is what it is. Dig, I realistically don't think they'll make playoffs. If they make playoffs, it's because other teams just fall apart. They should be bottom 2. 7th to 8th, I think, realistically. They could make playoffs, but I don't think they should. If I mean, like, if they make playoffs, it's because, like, Shopify stays garbage and then Disguised is just still trying to figure their shit out. I mean, look, they could make 6th, but, like, I think they should be bottom. I think they should be 8th. 7th or 8th, depending on if Shopify gets their shit together. Alright, so that's my impressions from Swiss Round 2. Tomorrow, they're going to start the final round of Swiss, and then we'll see how matchups round out. I'm a little bit free Saturday, maybe, we'll see. We'll see if I want to try and do some stuff Saturday, Sunday, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I want to put in the time to watch. I kind of want to watch a little bit of LCK Cup. We're in plans right now. I kind of want to see, like, what's going on with plans, but I don't know if I care enough to put in that's, like, stream it. Like, I've been streaming most of these, me watching most of these games. I don't know if I care enough to do that. We'll see. We will see. Alright, so that is my impressions of this. Catch you guys on the flip.